Welcome back to our coverage. About to get back underway in the under-18 grand final. It's Richmond sitting on a slim lead at the break, and we've just seen at halftime that the Bulldogs have lost one of their men from the engine room. Darius Lavakula Latoa has been carried off the field. Looked like a pretty serious left leg injury there, and suggestions that it may have been an injury he sort of carried into the match. So they are a key man down in the engine room. 35 minutes until we have a new champion. And an early penalty.
Yeah, it's getting pretty direct now.
Stay behind. Think, kid. Yep.
So back underway we go. And the Leopards with a really nice chance to start this half on a high after a rough start to the match. Down fairly early and recovered late on. Scored a nice try via Stevens Te'o to get themselves right back into this one. And they're now 10 metres out from the line.
It's the first time they've been this deep.
Tonga.
In a long while.
Wrestled to ground just short of the line. He's over the line, but the tackle's complete. Tonga thinks it should be a try. Instead they play it, goes out the back door now. And
out here.
rushing up are Richmond, which means there must be space on this right edge. And if the Leopards go there, they might score. Oh, the execution just off. Well, they rushed up very quickly there, didn't they, Troy? And as a result, there was a gap.
They definitely had one on the outside. And they forced the issue there, however. Ball's gone to ground. We now get ready to set a scrum. And there's a couple of people getting attended to in the background as well. So Richmond got one boy off on the back there on the dead ball.
Just on screen there, you can see actually it's who is it? EJ Louis Toyava has gone through and high-fived every member of the Richmond scrum. So there's a slight tactical knot now as Kamu flicks a beautiful offload out the back. And
oh, he's offloaded.
again, now it's picked up by Otahuhu. Now Stevens Te'o picks it up. He dances through one, dances through a second.
They need patience here.
End-to-end stuff here. And you're right, patience the key word. Both look like they want to score on every play right now. It's not going to win you a grand final. They straighten things up now via Palu. He's only 3 out from the line. Swing it out the back, and
it's on again.
They go half to half, a little decoy run
Great
there,
team.
which they timed nicely, but up and in quickly was Zenafasa to shut it down. Now they move out to the right edge where it's Louis Toyava. And he is taken down. They got tackles up their sleeve here, the Leopards. There's no need to panic just yet. Dribbled a little kick in behind. It's a nothing kick. Schuster picks it up and will escape easily. That's a really poor finish to the set there for the Leopards. Troy really didn't look like anyone except the halfback knew that play was on. And there was more they could have done with that use of the ball, you would think. As Richmond now work the ball out from inside their 20. And what about the influence of Nella Tofu so far in this game? He's
had
at the
massive
heart of
minutes,
everything,
yeah.
hasn't he? And he's really been the reason that they've favoured going down that left edge so often in this game. He's worked hard out of yardage as well, as we see a brilliant little run there from Lokeni Tama as he breaks free and is tackled well down low eventually by the captain, Tofa. Quick play of the ball. Richmond now with front foot footy. Moving forward. Gaps up the middle. They might score here. Richmond. Last-ditch defence. Brilliant from the Leopards. Really.
Nail-biting stuff.
Iriko got that ball there. He was odds on to score, but They just refuse to go away, the Leopards, and get back there in enough numbers to prevent it. This is really, really exciting rugby league. End-to-end stuff.
Yeah, Richmond virtually went the whole length of the field and that's it.
While some of the decision-making has been a little questionable at times, you can't doubt the effort of these players. As they come out to the left edge now, the Leopards to settle things down a little bit here. They're right in this match. They can't afford to keep giving Richmond piggybacks out of trouble, and just as I say that, they cough the ball up 25 metres out from the line.
Come forward. Come. Start off, David. Okay.
Scrum packs and Richmond head out towards this left edge. Don't be at all surprised if they end up coming down this way again later in the tackle count. It's the pattern in the first half. Schuster is tackled now. Fresh legs on the park. Lokini Tama made a long-range break just a few minutes ago with one of his first touches of the ball. Looks a lively customer at the bottom of the ruck, and now they go to the line and looking to engage a couple of defenders there was Tipu Lolo. Dinks a little kick, and behind here there's no one around. Idiko's going to score. Dayton Idiko off the little kick from Jacobs. Let's take a look on the Auckland Rugby League live replay. They just caught the Leopards napping here. There was no one around. See here, it looked like a pre-planned play from a Richmond point of view.
Points on the board for Richmond with that try scored by number 11, Dayton Tiarico.
It was a great try.
Tell you what, it was 50-50 whether Sefesi got to that one first or Iriko, but a good call in the end from our referee on the spot.
Setting up the halfback, you know, he waited, he actually looked at the second row and he said, I'm actually going to poke that through for you, and there you go.
Yep, on a platter in the end, and Jacobs will now attempt the conversion. So we're back up to a 10-point lead with kick to come.
Flags are up.
Kick by number 7, Ria Jacobs.
Otahuhu back now, ready to kick off.
Stay home.
Here we go.
Richmond leading 6.
Oh,
Low one and out on the full.
well, not the dream start, is it?
One way of putting it. So things go from bad to worse in a hurry for the Leopards, and they need to get control of this situation pretty quickly because the scoreline, real danger of blowing out to something that's not so manageable all of a sudden. Lokini Tama shuffles play on. Once again, it goes down the left. And they hit back to the middle. Schuster. Late ball at the line brings Tan Charlie Malama into the ball. Penalty there as well. You mentioned Richmond's attack in the build-up. They averaged 34.5 points scored per game through the regular season, and they're going to add another 2 here to make it 16 for them.
That's it, mate.
So this one to take it out beyond a 12-point lead. So smart decision to take the 2 here. Jacobs been on song today with the boot. Should have no issues here. And Julie puts that one over.
If you wondered why the scoreboard jumped a couple of points here, we just realigned ourselves with the match manager downstairs. As the kick is good, and as Corey said, Richmond 18, Otahuhu 4. And there's an echo for you.
Play on, backwards. Okay. AJ, move! Here, hold!
Big few minutes coming up for the Leopards here.
Play on.
Dearly love to force an error right now, but they've fallen out of this game, and really it's all their own fault. Some poor handling errors. Richmond get a stranglehold on this one, but also, Troy, their forward pack's really lost their dominance that they were showing towards the back end of the first half.
Yeah, well, they've been doing a lot of tackling, and
Oh! Flat ball at the line, and Stevens shot out.
they would have loved to being able to connect.
Knock on that here,
Yes, as you were saying, probably done a lot of tackling, and when they've had the ball, they've been on the wrong end of the park. So Richmond have had good ball management. You know, their kicking game's not been too shabby either, but you know, they've got a wee bit of momentum as well. And by all accounts, they're getting ready to feed the scrum here. And for the Otahuhu lads, it's time to roll the sleeves up and go back to work.
Okay, in you go.
Shifted on now and holding it up, and boy, that is a clever catch down on the hip. Eventually reeled it in there, Zenafasa. Eriko to Jacobs, and they will sort of settle things down via Smith in the middle of the park. Ball comes out, and is that the error Otahuhu needed? Can they take advantage of this situation and get back down the other end of the field and start to show what they can do on the ball? We saw glimpses of it in the first half, but they have spent so much of this game down their own end, Troy, just battling to get out, and then they can't with an error on play 3 or 4 and have to start again.
The guy subbing on, apologising to the match manager. So have to reset the scrum, and it comes exchange after that. Exchange taking place now as they wait for the play to come off over the sideline. Play plays on.
And this is a must-complete set for the Leopards. I know there's still a long time to go in this game, but an error here, and I think they spend the next 5 minutes again probably trying to get out now. As you see a little bit of second phase from the Leopards. It all started with a good carry forward. They need to get the physical dominance back in this one, because they do have some big lads in the middle of the park. They head out to the right edge now, and they shake off one and keep going down that side via CK, who was the man that set up Otahu's try in the first half. Long range.
Excuse me. It's where all their opportunities were coming from their second phase play.
Right in front of the sports safe uprights. Last tackle coming up. Both playmakers set to the middle of the park. That's where it goes. Stevens Te'o looks up. Well, there really was no structure to that at all. And whether Stevens Te'o was the intended receiver, I'm not too sure. But a limp end to the set.
Hard tackle as well.
And I Otahuhu player down in back play. He's in some discomfort. It's Stevens Teal. So he's down, clutching at an ankle by the look of it. So they're a man down on the defensive line as well. Now Jacobs dancing through. Look at him. He's got spiders on him. Jumps through a couple more. And then he is tackled just short of halfway. 12 men on the defensive line. And Jason Tolfa has to drop back to the fullback. And so if you're Richmond here, probably not a bad idea to visit the edge. You know that they're one down here, and straight up through the middle goes Lokeni Tama. Dancing his way back to the middle. Taken down. That is a crucial intervention there from Sam Tonga. Schuster hands it off to the big boy. Taken down just short of the line is Leota. Schuster is the dummy half. A shuffle ball back and then one across the top. They're short on numbers here, the Leopards. Can they get across in time? Back on the inside. Richmond are in again. Charlie Malama. And the Bulldogs are barking. A try in the right-hand corner. And really, they just caught them for numbers there. 12 men on the defensive line. Come over the top here, and then it was actually nice, patient play, really, because initially Otahuhu had it covered. A little slip there from Smesi, gets back up, and then they go again. And this is intelligent play here, just to find the big boy Lumen back on the inside. And he was too big. Power over in the end.
Big hush as they wait for the kick to come. You can hear the crowd from that side. Oh.
So Jacobs hits it and it's short and wide. So the Leopards, they need a reply here, and it needs to come pretty quickly if they're to get back into this one. There's still time as it stands. Reminder, we are
Too long and too hard, too difficult. And I don't think that was the first one today.
No, you're right. One up on the sideline and one goes clean dead. So
Just makes it so much more difficult. And the spread's just getting a little bit, what have we got on there, 422? So, Otahuhu back into defense work.
Leota. Good carry from big Charlie Leota. Mount Albert grammar boy. Eriko now breaks free, and Eriko looking for support. He'll get a quick play of the ball here, although they've spun him around. That's a penalty. Will that be a sim binning? Yes, it will. Well, this is really gone sour all of a sudden for Otahuhu. And just waiting to catch the number of the man who's going to the bin. Time off in the meantime as he strolls over to the sideline. And if I was him, I'd be taking my time here because your team's dead set up against the ropes. So it looks like Richmond are going to take the two anyway, so it won't matter. Try and catch the number of the man in the sim bin. Meantime, Richmond line up the conversion. And
3.
it's Viliami Finau that has been binned, and it was a fair sim bin. It was a cynical foul to prevent a try-scoring opportunity as Jacobs steps in and clocks up another 2. And it is the Richmond Bulldogs, after finishing second behind Otahuhu in the regular season, who are well and truly in control. Looking very much a championship side as it stands.
Stay behind.
So down to 12 men, facing a 20-point deficit. What have Otahuhu got now? Sam Kamu runs the ball back and clean fends away the first one.
Hold here. Hold.
We should see him back in time before the final hit it.
Oh no!
Yep.
Here, mate, here. Go through.
The Army Finau, he should be back on the field around the 62-minute mark.
Ball in here. Hold. Go through.
Assuming it is a 10-minute sim minute, not a 5-minute one. Not too sure with the
No, I'll find out first.
shortened form of the game, running 35-minute halves, as Richmond move it forward now, and they're 30 out from the line. They go to it now, and Jacobs looks up and tucks the ball under the wing, and just about a breakdown of communication at the back now as the Leopards look to turn things around.
Here, mate, here.
Need points in a hurry.
Here, hold. Go through.
Off the back fence comes Louis Toyava, and they'll get a penalty as well.
Somewhere in the way of the restart there. Yeah, so just confirming 10-minute bin. And we should see him before the close of play.
Yep. Return to the field just after the hour mark, so return for the last maybe 8 minutes or so of the half.
Okay, when you're ready, go.
So the Leopards back underway via Whako Salia, and
Heartbreaking.
ball is put down. Pessi picks it up. And that really is the story of the game for Otahuhu so far. Schuster jumps out. Been very good today, hasn't he, Jeremiah Schuster? Nice and active at the back. Scored a try. Turned the ball well. But these edge back rowers, they've been the key for me. Both Semesi and Iriko have had really good games, and
This guy's not been too shabby either, just quietly.
you're quite right. Big Charlie Liota. That's a front rower's name if ever I've heard one as well.
I wonder if Toa Osun Anissimo's had anything to do with his body frame. Ooh,
Schuster gets body slammed to the ground, and he's felt that one too, Schuster. Very slow to the feet. In fact, it's Jacobs. Apologies. They go to the line now. They look to dribble the kick in behind it. Takes a nasty old bounce. It's cleaned up by Tolfa.
Hold here. Hold.
About 14 minutes to play here, and it is the Leopards with all the work to do.
Here, mate, here. Hold, hold. Go free. Oh no! Play on.
Good play the ball here now, and Whako
Big
Salia
break.
will get on the end of it. That's a great run from Manasi. Gets to the bottom of the ruck, and he goes 20 metres untouched. To the play of the ball now. They shuffle it on. They're a man down, making their task all the more difficult here as they eventually get to the kick. It's a bit of a nothing kick, and it should be fielded safely. It is by Schuster, but then goes to Kamu. Look out, Sam Kamu hits the kick return there and takes them out to the 30. Look at the outside backs now coming in. This is Asa. They're killing them in the yardage work. They're yet to have a forward touch the ball in this set, and they have strolled about 50 metres downfield here, Richmond. Now, Malama, last try scorer, he takes it forward, and Jacobs will jump into dummy half. They head to this left edge again. Tofu. Jacobs He'll look to the sky. Pressure on at the back, beautifully taken. What about that for a front rower? Louis Toiava goes up, claims it, and makes a few yards off the end of it as well. Penalty here.
Two follows.
At the conclusion of the game, ladies and gentlemen, there will be presentations to medals of both teams' match officials, and the trophy also awarded to the winning team. And the Vodafone Warriors
Suspect pass out of dummy half there. Claiming is the call.
Vodafone Warriors top on the side football.
Turn back to the inside, and a well-timed ankle tap there sort of shuts it down, although Stevens Teal, who looks to have shaken off that early knock, is back on the field now. Scored their only try so far in this game for the Leopards. Now as they pin the ears back via Tyrone Waipori. Whakaosalia. Move the ball now, and do they have numbers on this edge? Richmond looking pretty sharp, although they get the second phase away. Otahuhu are in, and it's through the captain, Tolfa, who very quickly runs the ball back and says, let's get the conversion underway. He knows the clock is their enemy now. But that's the first step. If the Leopards are to come back in this one, classy stuff here, really. Looked like the player died out on this left edge. We'll see it move on here. Richmond had it handled, but it's this offload here from big Louis Toiava. Gets it away, and then back in field, Tolfa just catches them coming across. The kick is good as well in the corner screen there. So 14 points is the difference. 10 minutes to play. The Leopards are about 2 minutes away from getting back to a full complement.
You couldn't make that any difficult if they tried with 12 men. It's been a fantastic day for rugby league down here today. The sun's been shining all day, and the actual entertainment's been first class. As we see Greg Waiapu now leaving the stadium in the ARL chopper. And he waves us and bids us a farewell. Richmond on the restart.
Oh, get out of my way. Through they go, and again it's Louis Toiava who has changed this game in the last few minutes. They get the penalty as well.
Behind them.
Kick for touch.
Here. No dropping me out, boys. And dropping discipline. Stand again! Here! Go one. Up together! Good team out here. Ho! Ho! Go two.
Oh,
Bobble at the play of the ball. Well, that's unfortunate. Manasi Whakaosalia, he's had a really good game, and just took his eyes off for a minute there.
you could feel there was just something about to mount there, wasn't there?
Yeah, sort of giving themselves a sniff here, Otahuhu, and they'll be back to 13 on 13 any second now. I can see Finau back up out of the sim bin chair under the watchful eye of Bill Norrie down there, really our leader of the match managers. It's one of the big gigs. Bill Norrie does a really good job. Managing the sidelines can be a difficult job, as Richmond go up into the opposition half, and this is Zenefasa
he's offloaded
and gets a little second phase away as well.
Play it on your mark.
Skelton. Back to Kamu.
Up for it.
A good game, Sam Kamu.
Go, go, Marcus.
Pressed again.
Oh, no, six. Here, go for it. No, Sam.
Messi play the ball, but play on is the call from our ref. Oh! Well, it's not a legal hit, but my goodness, that was massive. Wow. Catch this on the replay here, and oh, that was huge.
The ball's
tackle.
gone home. Even the cameraman felt that one.
And so this is going to be a Leopards penalty, so I'm not too sure how we've got to that. I thought initially it was a shoulder charge, but looking at it, it was a clean tackle.
Oh, he's showing some
Look at
intent.
this. And he is the man to try and change this game right now.
penalty.
He set up the last try. He's just earned his team back-to-back penalties. We've got time off here. And, referee Green, I think, just keen to calm things down a little bit. Sam Kamu having a word there. And we can't hear our referees over the crowd noise because the crowd have suddenly come to life here at Mount Smart. So do our best to decipher those calls.
Well, you'd
So
pick
here
him
we go.
again, wouldn't you? Here he comes, wind him up.
Up out of the line now, gets a nice little offload away as well, and it's Finau down on that left edge.
And it's all out here on the right too for the Leopards if they can get the ball in the hand.
They have to be so careful not to get sucked into any mind games here. Don't play the physical battle if there's space on the edges.
You tell that to a forward.
Moving on again now, and they have to keep playing rugby league here. The Leopards can ill afford one out stuff as they face a 14-point deficit. Now they go to the line via the standoff, and now a little bit of second phase again. Brilliant read from Sam Kamu off the wing. That is huge. That's a try-saving tackle, I should say, as they centralise now via Stevens-Teal. And they move on, and it's sort of
stepping.
breaks down a little bit there and spots a little gap, and the ball is down. And that might do it. That might kill off any comeback for the
Great
Leopards.
scramble defence by the Bulldogs.
Yeah, that is brilliant stuff from the Bulldogs. And what about some of the contact that was dished out in the last 5 minutes? It was a brave man that took a hit up, and I dare say the Leopards are lining up to dish out some more punishment here. Straight into it. Drive him back. Oh, a little juggle there. How could he get away with that one? Salia that time leading the charge. It's brutal in the middle of the park. Ball loose.
Ball's out. Oh, it's gone both
So
ways.
knock on each way. Scrum will pack down. Leopards want to pack this one quickly.
We're all getting excited up here, aren't we? Which way's he going?
So this will be a Leopards ball. Time off.
Time's off anyway.
Stop the clock at 1:58.
So a minute 58 and a
No worries.
3-score lead. Well, they're not going to win the grand final here at Otahuhu, but they're going to give us a pretty good finish anyway. Richmond less than 2 minutes away from winning the title. There is silverware headed to Greyland Park, and they're thoroughly deserving as well. What a performance from this side. After finishing second in the regular season, they have taken advantage of just about every opportunity they've been given today. Standout performances from the likes of Ulysses Samisi, Dayton Iriko. Sam Kamu's been good off the wing as well. Charlie Leota, he's been their standout forward. He's really dented the line throughout the day after losing his fellow starting front rower. So about 1:30 to play. The Leopards looking to finish on a high. They're not going to win this game. Left their run too late and really have shot themselves on the foot on more than one occasion on this one. 2 kicks out on the full jump out. A number of errors coming out of yardage now as the Leopards enter inside the 10. Fakosalia jumps out of dummy half. He'll go very close. The Otahuhu College boy held up. Go back and start again.
Over 10. Wait there. Time on. When you're ready. Go 3.
Stay with us post-match. We'll bring you all of the post-match presentations as
Big, hard, strong run.
Louis Toiava, who has been brilliant in the final 20 minutes for Otahuhu. He's the reason they had a chance in this one. Captain Tofa looking for his second try of the game. Last tackle coming up. This might just about be their last play of the season. Fakosalia shuffles play on. Stevens Te'o up in the face is the Richmond defence. Be hot potato stuff. They kick across field. It's a messy old kick and a brilliant read from
They're just
Asa
going Hail Mary.
up out of the line, and they keep the ball alive. It pops out at the end there, but the tackle's complete.
There it is, full count.
And the celebrations can begin. The Richmond Bulldogs, seconds away from being crowned here. The siren will go in a short time. As I mentioned, do stay with us post-match. We have the post-match presentations for both teams and our man of the match named. And boy, there are a few contenders in this Richmond team. A siren goes. There it is. Richmond are the under-18 champions of Auckland. They defeat the Otahuhu Leopards 24-10. A brilliant season for the Leopards. They go through as minor premiers, but they fall short at the final hurdle. We'll take a very short break now before we join the teams down pitch side.
Put it on your t-shirt, bro. You know the mum.
Okay, with the captain of the Richmond Rovers, and mate, Sam, tell us how you feel.
Just over the moon there. My first year at Richmond. Captain, pretty humbling. And yeah, just proud of the effort with the boys.
And did it all go according to game plan, or did you have to have a wee bit of a hard chat at half time?
A little bit of a hard chat because we weren't rolling until we hit that second half, and then we got a pretty good roll on.
And for you, mate, I know that personally it's a great success. Who else do you think stood up for you today for the Richmond Rovers?
Probably our back five. Just kept pushing through the middle. We just utilised our speed in the middle with the big props. So yeah, but just the whole team overall.
Well, look, on behalf of the Auckland Rugby League, congratulations. I'm going to let you get with your team now as you get ready for the presentations. Cheers, boy. And you can see the Richmond Bulldogs lining up as we get ready for presentations. And over to the right of the screen, the Otahuhu Leopards, who performed well, are here as well. And they line up. And there's the full extended side for the Richmond Rovers. The under-18 Open Auckland Rugby League Championship Grand Final winners. As we get ready now for Pat Carthy and presentations.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to both teams. We now start the formal part of the presentation for the 2018 Under-18 Grand Final. I'd like to invite the match officials forward to receive their Grand Final medallions. Joseph, touch judges, and match manager Bill Norrie. I'd now like to invite the runner-up captain from Otahuhu to come forward and say a few words.
First of all, I want to say thank you for the Heavenly Father for gathering us here all together. I'd like to say thank you to all the supporters who come down there supporting the boys. I'd like to say thank you to our coach and the managers, David and Amy and Ritty. Richmond, congrats. It was a tough game against you. I'd like to thank our sponsors, Lookshop Barbers, Holideo and Mr. Quincy. And to our boys, we'll go heads off. We still got a lot to come on our way. Thank you.
I'd like to invite you to lead your team up to receive their runner-up medallions from grade manager Steve Lockwood.
Here come the under-18 Otahuhu Leopards, runners-up for 2018. And as they're awarded their medals, the extended squad members that helped them get here throughout the season join the boys in celebrating making a grand final. Your always wonder, Pat, that you won enough medals?
No, never. Medals are for the grand final team. 17 that play in the grand final. Deserve it.
All right.
That's from the Tri-Nations Trophy.
Okay, thank you for that, Pat.
Ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause for the Otahuhu members.
Now I'd like to invite the captain of the winning Richmond side to come and say a few words.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Lord for bringing us all here today on a beautiful day to play rugby league. I'd like to thank Otahuhu for a good game. They played well, but yeah, hard luck, boys. It's all good. Another year next year. To our boys, it's been a good year. A little bit of ups and downs, but yeah, we got through in the end. And thanks to the crowd for supporting us. I'd like to thank our sponsor, Audio Barn, for supplying us with our gears and stuff. So, thank you.
Thank you very much. Now I'd like to invite you to bring your team up to receive your grand final win medallions. And they're being presented by Jennifer Whaley and Steve Lockwood, grade managers for the under-18s.
And here we have the under-18 Open Championship winners for the Auckland Rugby League season, as all of their teams come through now and collect their medallions. And their extended squatters also joined them on the field as well. Two big, proud, traditional clubs, both Richmond Rovers and Otahuhu Leopards. The officials, managers coming through.
Before we present the player of the match and the
Champions Cup, ladies and gentlemen, a round of applause to the Richmond team and the non-playing players of the squad. It takes the squad to win the grand final. Now we move on to the Warriors Man of the Match Award, and I'm pleased to advise that goes to the Richmond fullback, Jeremiah Schuster.
What a fantastic grand final this young man has had.
Congratulations, Jeremiah. Now if we can get the captain back, please, to receive the 2018 Under-18 Open Champion Cup. Congratulations.
Boys. Okay, team.
Our referees who received positions for the grand finals, all our valued volunteers. Special thanks to Mart Stadium for allowing us to have all the games this weekend. Special thanks to the grounds manager. And final thank you to St. John's.
Live league action. In 2018, the Auckland Rugby League is putting the game in your hands. Never miss a hit from New Zealand's premier rugby league competition. To get the inside edge on where you can watch the action live and free, head up aucklandleague.co.nz. Live league action, aucklandleague.co.nz.